Welcome back to Scrapbooks Made Easy with Beth. A few weeks ago, I showed you these amazing cascading pages using the 6x12 Peekaboo pockets. And you can see how many different photos you can get in. So if you're using Peekaboo pockets, you have to remember to put them on top of your top loading sleeve or your page protector. So today, I'm going to show you a little twist on that. And I'll show you how to do it, but it's so fun. So this, you're actually using the scrapbook pages. And I would have used a bigger photo or a smaller circle, but I just threw that in to show you. You're actually going to cut the scrapbook page itself. And then we did something really fun here where we've cut this out. So you can see a picture on that side, and then when you flip it over, it has this side again. This is using the Deeper in the Woods embellishment pack and paper. And then the bottom one is your regular 12x12. But you can see it's doing the same thing using your scrapbook pages. How fun is that? All right, so I'll share a couple of tips when you're doing this. You're going to use the regular scrapbook page, and obviously the bottom one you're going to leave at 12x12, and you're going to cut so you still have your staples to put them inside of the book. So the first one's 6x12, you're leaving, or 12x12, you're leaving that one, and then the next one you're going to cut at 10.5. Let me move that album out of the way. And what you have to make sure, because of that little piece right there, is that you're looking to make sure that that's lined up. So 10.5, and you're also cutting right at the edge there. So you want that to be at your 10.5. So you're lining up from the bottom or the top, it doesn't matter. But again, you want to pay attention to that jeeping. If you push this all the way to the top, it's going to be crooked. So keep that in mind. So this is the hardest one to cut, is the 10.5. But kind of just pay attention. You're going to eyeball it there, and then you're going to cut the page off. I have not figured out anything to do with this yet, so it is garbage. So that's going to be your biggest one. Then the next one, you're going to cut it 9x12. So this one now you can just push against the bottom because it's the jeeping part is over there. And again, pay attention to your 9. Push it up against the bottom instead of the top because of that. And then that becomes the next one. The next one you're cutting at 7.5. So you're going to look to see where your half is and line up that jeeping on that. And then your last one is the same size as the page protectors. It's 6x12. So again, line that up. All right, and now let me pull these back over. Now you can see once you line up the staples that you have cascading pages. You can decorate them, you can put photos on them, you can do what you want. And then with these, you're going to cut your page protectors the same size. So I highly recommend, if you're making 2 or 3 sets of these, only cut one at a time. So the first one's going to be 6x12. I'm going just on the outside or the inside of that. And you have to go pretty slow because you don't want them buckling. And now technically you have 2 sets here. So if you look at it that way, you can do one here and then the other side too. So now you're just going to put the page protector on top of this And if you're using the tape runner, you can use the vellum and just put a tiny little piece to hold that down. And then you're going to do the same thing. So you're cutting your page protectors. You might want to go a little bit bigger. It depends on how you like it. But you're going to put page protectors on these just like you would. You're just going to have to use a tiny little piece of adhesive to do that. So that is that simple. And again, you're making cascading pages using your actual pages. So super fun and easy, and you can get a lot of pictures in there. Once you're done cutting your pages, you're going to want to cut page protectors to match it. Make sure your page protectors have the sealed part on the top and on the bottom, and then you're going to cut them the same way. So the first one's going to be 6 by 12. So you're cutting it at 6 inches. So you're going to put that lined up with the 6 there, and just go kind of slow on these so they don't buckle up. And I highly recommend you only cutting one at a time. So you're going to cut the exact same sizes, and then let me show you when you go to put it on. You're just going to slide it on like a normal page protector. So they're protected just like your other pages. So you can put paper on this and other photos, whatever you want to do, but you're going to cut your page protectors the same as you cut your pages. Just make sure the sealed part is at the top and the bottom, which is how it would be on a regular page too. They're sealed on the top and on the bottom. All right, have fun with this.